Hi everyone, I'm Xing-Yi, a 15-year-old high school student from Singapore. I speak upwards of 10 languages, which includes a C2 level in French. The languages which I consider my mother tongues are English, Mandarin Chinese, French, and of course, Singlish, which I am going to be speaking about today. Language learning has been my passion since young, and I try to do my bit in the multicultural and diverse society of Singapore. To create a community of fellow language learners, I founded Polyglot Club Singapore, Singapore's first ever polyglot club. There, we offer free tuition services, as we believe that language learning should not be restricted by financial means. We also offer notes that are free and available for download. These were curated from our own experiences to help others learn languages. Last year, I organized the annual national webinar, Making Your Choice, to help Singaporean middle schoolers make an informed decision about which foreign language they should choose to study in secondary school. To keep up with us, you can follow us on Instagram, where we publish weekly interesting facts about languages, on our Facebook page, or subscribe to our mailing list on our website and read blog posts regarding interesting cultural practices and languages from around the world. Today, the topic of my talk will be Singlish, language at its most efficient. I'll be going through 4 segments today. Firstly, what is Singlish? Secondly, the significance of Singlish to Singaporeans and how it is part of our culture. Thirdly, the beauty and efficiency of Singlish as a language. And lastly, attitudes towards Singlish, how to learn it, and other interesting facts. So first of all, what even is Singlish and where does it come from? Singapore is a little red dot in Southeast Asia. As you can see, it is marked here. A small island country, it is the home of Singlish, our topic for today. Singlish is a portmanteau word from Singapore and English. Hence, as the name suggests, Singlish is an English-based Creole language originating from and spoken in Singapore. It contains words, vocabulary, and grammar from other languages and dialects such as Hokkien, Malay, Teochew, Cantonese, and Tamil. Singlish is semitonal, as words of Sinitic origin generally retain their original tones in Singlish. On the other hand, other languages that make up Singlish, such as original English words as well as words of Malay and Tamil origin, are non-tonal. As you can see from the photo here, Singapore was once an English colony from 1819, when Sir Stamford Raffles first landed on our shores, to 1950, after World War I. When Singapore was first declared a free trading port by the British, people from all over the world came to Singapore in search of a better future. A high proportion of these people were from the south coast of China, including Canton, Fujian, Hainan, and also the southern part of India. Hence, it is no surprise that these languages and dialects are an important component of Singlish. Together with English, brought here by the British colonizers, and Malay, which the Malay locals spoke, these languages and dialects together make up Singlish. After the decolonization of Southeast Asia, English was established as a medium of education in Singapore. Elements of English quickly filtered out of schools and onto the streets, resulting in the development of a pidgin language spoken by non-native speakers as a lingua franca used for communication between speakers of the many different languages and dialects. Singlish evolved mainly among the working classes, who learned elements of English without formal schooling, mixing in elements of their native languages. After some time, this new pidgin language, now combined with substantial influences from Indian English, Peranakan, southern varieties of Chinese, Malay, and Tamil, became the primary language of the streets. As Singlish grew in popularity, children began to acquire Singlish as their native language, in a process known as creolization. Through this process of creolization, Singlish became a fully formed, stabilized, and independent Creole language, acquiring a more robust vocabulary and more complex grammar. I am proud to say that some of our Singlish words have also been featured in the Oxford English Dictionary. Some of these words are shiok, which means cool, great, delicious, or superb, or bleu, which the Oxford English Dictionary defines as slow in understanding. Sabo, on the other hand, means to harm, inconvenience, make trouble for, trick, or play a prank on someone. I will be extremely happy if there is more global recognition of this unique Singapore identity. So I'm definitely looking forward to more recognition of Singlish words and more Singlish words being recognized as official standard words. Secondly, what is the significance of Singlish? Personally, I am fortunate to be able to count many languages as my mother tongues, including English, Mandarin Chinese, Singlish, and even French. However, I might just say that Singlish is the one closest to my heart. Many will argue that Singlish, being the unique product of a multicultural society, is the true bond for citizens of our island country. It takes the essence, grammar, and vocabulary of many languages and dialects such that the speaker can express himself, his feelings, and his intention in the most efficient way, and the listener will be able to comprehend and decipher the message with precision from both what was spoken and what was not spoken. Particles such as la, le, lo, lo are so specific and heartwarming to us Singaporeans that it always gives me a heartwarming feeling when I hear this familiar accent, especially when I am traveling overseas during the pre-COVID days. Additionally, we do not necessarily need lessons to learn Singlish. We can learn it simply by sitting around in coffee shops or cafes, as coffee shop is a localized term used in Singapore, or by simply growing up around other Singaporeans. We might not know all the languages or dialects that make up Singlish, but it is still possible to learn it nonetheless. So thirdly, what is the beauty and efficiency of Singlish? The particles which I mentioned earlier are one of the two ways which for me can truly demonstrate the beauty and efficiency of Singlish. In the first activity, titled How Old Are You?, I will try to illustrate how the particles improve our communication efficiency. Let's say someone asks me for my age. So the question will go like this. Hi Xing-Yi, how old are you this year? And of course, I am 15 years old. So in English, I would say 15. But in Singlish, there are many different options. As you can see on the slide, I can say 15 ya, 15 lo, 15 la, 15 le, or 15 ya. So let's start from I'm 15 lo. This has an implied meaning that you might be asking an obvious question because I had previously told you my age, and my answer to you is merely stating the obvious. Next up, we have I'm 15 la, which shows my impatience towards you for asking me for my age. Thirdly, we have I'm 15 ya, which could imply that I am proud of being 15. In standard English, the whole sentence might translate to something like I am already all 15 years of age, so please do not treat me like I am a kid. Next up, we have 15 ya, which translated to English actually implies that you have overestimated my age and that I am 15 only. At this point, I wish to point out that this particle originated from Hokkien and means only. This is a unique example of how Singlish combines languages and dialects to form its unique identity. In my second example, I will try to illustrate how we use an English word with the grammar of Chinese language sprinkled with particles to communicate different meanings. Let's say for activity 2, someone asks me whether I can give a talk in Singlish. If I want to give an affirmative answer in Singlish, I will reply with the English word, can. I understand that this one-word reply in English is unacceptable by all standards to answer any question like that in the States, the UK, or any other English-speaking country. However, if that same question is posed to me in Chinese, and I answer 可以, which is the Chinese translation of can in English, it would be grammatically correct. So the interesting fact about this is that we use an English word with Chinese grammar and probably only a fellow Singaporean would be able to understand me. Not the British, not the Americans, and perhaps not the Chinese as well. If I sprinkle some particles to wrap up the sentence, the two-worded combination will also have vastly different meanings. Let's say I want to change the formatting of a group project. If I tell my group mate, can ho, I'm actually seeking support or confirmation to ensure that they are alright with me changing the formatting of our group project. If I say, can lah, it would be in response to someone else's question, which means that yes, I am clearly capable and I can change the formatting of a project. Why are you even questioning me? Can de means that I know it can be done. Let me emphasize here yet again that de is actually a borrowed word from Chinese, in which it is also a particle. Can me might mean that I have my doubts that it will work. If someone else proposes that we should change the formatting, but I am not sure whether that fits in with the mark scheme or not, I might say, can me, as in, I am not sure if this idea is viable and functional or not. And next, can or not is actually a mispronunciation, or I would say a mashed together version of the English words can, or, and not, which means I am asking, can it be done? Moving away from particles, I believe that the other way to demonstrate the uniqueness of Singlish is how our locals order our coffee at the kopitiams, the Hokkien version of coffee houses. This might be better known as cafes as well in some places. You can think of it as a local Starbucks, which sells local delicacies in addition to drinks, of which coffee is but one of them. It would also be a cool idea to drop by one of the outlets while you are in Singapore to test out your coffee ordering skills. Don't worry, for there are kopitiams all throughout Singapore. Kopi is the Malay translation of coffee and is the basic building block of the coffee ordering adventure. A standard kopi preparation, as you can see on the screen above, will contain the coffee, condensed milk, and of course, water. When I want a black coffee without any milk, I will say kopi o. And when I want a coffee with evaporated milk, I would have to say kopi si. You can also order a drink with both tea and coffee. This is called the renyang, which is the Chinese word for Mandarin ducks, of which you can see a couple at the bottom right corner of the screen. On the next slide here, you can see what you want to say if you want your coffee to be different levels of sweetness, from 0% to 150%. There's also a type of coffee called Gula Melaka kopi, which is made with palm sugar. If I want my coffee with ice, given the hot climate of our island country with its tropical equatorial climate, I would add a bing at the end of my coffee order. So that would be kopi bing, or kopi o bing, or any other thing that you might want to order. Given the fast pace of Singaporean life, I might also need the drink to go, as I may not have that 5 minutes to spare to dine in, and hence, I would have to wrap up my sentence with da bao. So, what's so special about this ordering of coffee? The uniqueness lies in that kopi is the Malay translation of coffee, o means black in Hokkien, si means fresh in Hainanese, and siu dai in Hokkien dialect means less sweet. And there you have it, a combination of 4 to 5 different languages and dialects, just to order a cup of coffee, understood by coffee baristas in the kopitiams across the island, regardless of race, language, or religion. Another interesting fact would be that in kopitiams, we do not often call the coffee baristas that. Instead, we call them auntie or uncle, even though we are not related. So, I will end this section of the talk with a little quiz for everyone to ponder. How would one order a cup of iced tea without milk but with plenty of sugar for takeaway? Lastly, here are some more interesting facts about Singlish. Interestingly, Singlish might not be viewed too fondly by authorities and is discouraged in the classroom. In many formal contexts, including meetings, presentations, or interviews, Singlish is also discouraged and avoided as standard English is preferred. Nevertheless, selected Singlish phrases are sometimes injected into discussions, advertisements, or campaigns to build rapport or for humorous effect. In recent times, Singlish is considered by linguists to be an independent language with its own systemic grammar. Linguists from universities around the world have referred to local productions to demonstrate how Singlish has become a unique language variety. Unfortunately, during the last time I checked, Singlish is not yet available for learning on italki. Hence, I wish to introduce everyone here to the game Wordley at word-leh.com, which features 5-letter Singlish words. The rules are essentially the same as Wordle, which was the popular game a little while back. Here are the credits and references for the information that I used today in my talk. This does not involve or include the picture credits for which I have put the references on their own respective slides. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to direct them to Polyglot Club SG, our Instagram account, our Facebook page, or at our Contact Us form at polyglotclubsg.com. Once again, thank you for listening and have a nice day.